Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, have you heard of the Hidden Compass, the podcast?
Why, yes, I have. Hidden Compass, the podcast, is about stories and storytellers at the frontiers of courage and curiosity. Join Hidden Compass co-founders and podcast co-hosts Sabine and Savani as they narrate stories from their award-winning magazine, and then go behind the scenes in interviews with each storyteller to see what inspired them to venture to the frontiers of courage and curiosity. Hidden Compass is for the journalist chasing big questions and meaningful exploration. It is for the reader hunting profound stories that immerse, inspire, and inform. It is for anyone aching for substance and longing to celebrate collective human endeavor. Here, the nuance of the world is within reach. Hold on to it. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe.
Great, Mike. I'm going to subscribe today. Hey, Mike.
What?
Have you heard of elderberry?
Only in reference to a Monty Python movie.
Well, let me tell you, Elderberry Boost. Again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
Yes, Mike, that's Elderberry Boost.
You can choose organic Elderberry Boost, that 8-ounce size. That's available on sale right now at $11.99. But you're listening here right now on TechTime Radio, so you need to go to Elderberry. That's ELDERBERRY-boost.com and get some today.
Elderberry Boost.
Elderberry is an all-natural organic immune system booster and antiviral. Elderberry is known to actively fight against viruses, including colds and the flu. It also works as a natural remedy for allergies, cancer, digestion, heart disease, high cholesterol, headache, toothache, weight loss, and reduced inflammation.
It's a natural and healthy diuretic and has many antiviral properties. While it is famous for fighting the flu, it is effective for any illness.
Elderberry Boost was created to provide a quality organic elderberry to their customers. After searching years ago for a perfect elderberry syrup, none could be found, so they essentially created their own homemade recipe.
If you would like to get 15% off your first order of Elderberry Boost, just put in the discount code TechTime at checkout.
Again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
You go, hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of unidragon.com?
Have I ever heard of unidragon.com?
Yes, unidragon.com.
Why, yes, I have heard of unidragon.com. That's the puzzle dude.
The puzzle dude, that's correct. He has tons of puzzles, and of course, he is the best and original wooden puzzles.
You have owls.
Guess what is the #1 best-selling puzzle?
The owl.
Do you think you had anything to do with that?
No, everybody loves owls.
Well, right now, you can get 40% off in stock if you go to unidragon.com/products/enchanting owl. You need to make sure you get yours today. Now, they also have 2 to 6 days for shipping. You can domestically ship within the United States. They have a great customer support. If you ever have any questions regarding your puzzle, except for how to put it together, you can email them at care@unidragon.com. If you want to get 10% off, you can use our code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's Dragon, DRAGON, Tech, TECH, for a 10% off discounts. Now, if you want the original, go to unidragon.com. Beware of fakes. Only get your wooden puzzles at unidragon.com.
Get them all.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
It's a beautiful Saturday outside in the Pacific Northwest, which means it started with sun, there was rain, and then there's more liquid sunshine to end the day. Welcome to Tech Time Radio.
Really? Is that what you're... Okay, never
That's right. Welcome to Tech Time Radio, the 2-hour talk radio show for technology for the everyday common person, weeks ahead of the mainstream media. Now, if you're catching us live on Saturday at 4 to 6 p.m., then you can engage in the show. Call us. You can call us at 425-373-5527, or you can call 188-298-KKNW to get a hold of us. If you have a question about technology, we'll get you on the air. Otherwise, we got segments to fill up 2 hours worth of information. Mr. Gourdet,
What's happening?
if they're trying to get a hold of us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not 4 to 6 p.m., or Sunday, what's going to happen? They're going to listen to a rebroadcast, right?
Yeah, Captain Obvious.
Okay, and so all I got to do is
I was completely baffled by your whole thing.
My question for you there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they can always go to techtimeradio.com. Again, that's techtimeradio.com, and they can be a part of the show and see anything if they're not getting us live. So our Thursday...
When are we live?
Was that?
When are we live?
4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay.
In the Pacific Northwest. On KKNW, 1150.
Yes.
You can go visit them and watch the stream because we're live streaming, or you can listen to the radio broadcast. You can always go to youtube.com/TechTime Radio. You can go to Twitch TV /TechTime Radio. You can also go to Twitter /TechTime Radio, and you can tweet out anything on TechTime Radio's tweet feeds, and we'll read them on the air. And you can go to Facebook if you wanted to go to Facebook and find us out on there too.
Yeah, how about Instagram?
Instagram /TechTime Radio.
There you go.
So we have
all social media platforms
/TechTime Radio.
Reddit somewhere probably.
We do have a Reddit site.
I know.
So Reddit /TechTime Radio. That's exactly correct.
So
all right,
you get that TechTime Radio. Something TechTime Radio.
Whatever it is, the social media /TechTime Radio. All right. Well, let's talk about what we got on the show today. Now, on the show, we're going to be talking about REvil ransomware. Victims get a free decryptor. So we're going to be talking about that. So essentially, REvil has been out. They retired, right? We talked about it on the radio show before.
But now they're back.
Now they're back. But if you have a decryptor, you can actually enable to go into older files. We're going to be talking about that and have them unencrypted. So we have that available. We also have 61 million IoT devices that were breached. We're going to talk about that in the medical field, what happened to those devices. GameStop says it's moving beyond games and is quote-unquote evolving.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what they're...
I have some opinions about this.
Yeah, I don't know what they're evolving to, but they're evolving to...
Radio Shack.
To Radio Shack. That's a perfect deal. But, are they going to end up like Radio Shack too? Well, we'll talk about their financials.
In evolution.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Now, on the second hour, we have our Steals and Deals segments all about iPhones this week. So big Apple announcement, iPhone 13. We're going to talk about some of the best deals to get the brand new iPhone 13. And what about an older model? Where can I go to get a great deal? Only on Steals and Deals in our second hour.
iPhone 13.
The iPhone 13, correct.
We just talked about the iPhone 12 like yesterday.
Well, the iPhone 13 just came on out,
so
they had the big press release. We're also going to be talking about what we found on the web that's going to focus in the top 13 myths of technology. So there's a whole list that I've put together, 13
tech
myths. And so you know what? Some of these, two of these, I actually almost believed myself. And so after doing the research, I'm like, dang, I didn't even know that. So I'm sure you're going to hang on to the second hour for this. It's very informative. I'm sure there's going to be at least one or two of those items that you said, no, I thought that's how it went.
I believe this was in response to our
USB
drives.
Yeah, we got a feedback that someone was really happy with that USB segment. You can go back, I think it's 2 shows ago. So you can go back we're on episode 66. So I think that's on 64. Learn all about the USB, if you can remove it or not remove it. And we got a bunch of stuff in it. So, David says, hang on, David, we got somebody on the phone. Let's have him come in after our opening question. So David says, we got some callers already calling up. So you know what? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first, we need to talk about our loaded question of the day, brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Yep. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberryboost.com to start the show. So
Elderberry.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Elderberry Boost. That's exactly correct. They're a great new sponsor with us, them and StoriCoffee, so we're excited.
Just because you recorded me saying that.
I did. That was
that goofy.
They love the Elderberry Boost. The Elderberry Boost. Okay. All right. I'm sure you'll hear it later in the show, too. All right. Here's the question for you. If you could trade lives with someone, who would you choose?
Oh.
Anybody in the world, living or dead?
I don't even know.
Well, hopefully you don't. This is a 2-hour show, so you got to go.
Well, how about Neil deGrasse Tyson? I would trade a day for that. Do you even know who that is?
Mike Tyson's brother?
No.
Who's Neil deGrasse Tyson?
He's a famous astrophysicist.
He's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, very smart guy. Well, you can look him up.
Okay, I'll look him up. So you're not Bob Ross, though. He's a really smart guy. You don't want to paint trees, happy trees?
No.
No happy trees?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I wouldn't want to sport that fro.
You wouldn't want to sport that fro?
No.
That was good. All right, David, we're going to go right to, we have a live caller coming on in here. David, you want to put him on the air?
Okay, caller, you are live on the air.
Yeah, hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Hey, love the show. This is JD. Got a general question for you. I've been following you guys, and I happen to notice, I look on LinkedIn here and there. Mr. Mumm, you have some very interesting characters on your name. How the heck did you get those?
Oh, so you know what? I tried
cheated.
No, so I hacked away at LinkedIn and got them.
That's
No. So here is the secret. So I try to keep all of our social media sites kind of flashy, and so there is.
Yeah, that is definitely flashy.
Caller, if you go and take a look right now in Google, Unicode, and that's UNICODE, Unicode word translations for LinkedIn on Google. That's what, especially Unicode. Essentially, there's 2 websites out there that you will type in your name, and it will come on up with characters. And the Unicode digits is essentially the back-end code of all of the operating system and EEPROM. So it works in all social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, any of those social medias we're talking about. But you can type in your name on the Unicode, and then you can cut and paste that into LinkedIn, Facebook, and you can change your characters to specific looking characters, not emojis, because emojis doesn't work.
Kind of cheat.
Well, no.
Kinda.
No, the
Just a little
Unicode.
bit.
Well, Unicode is kind of this new hot thing that's coming on out right now. So everybody's grabbing. There's like 4 or 5 different variances, but you can go to LinkedIn and you can look for Nathan Mumm and you can see it right there. But caller, you would definitely want to do a Google search for Unicode, and then you can do Facebook or Unicode LinkedIn. And let me bring up the site right now. As I'm going to do this right here. The site that I used was home.unicode.org, and it has the standards there where you can put in information and have it taken care of. All right. Thank you for calling, caller.
Thank you.
Hope it works out for you.
All right. Yeah. Now hopefully he doesn't cut and paste Nathan Mumm, though, because hopefully the person will put their name in there because it does very unique characters.
Yeah, I saw how unique that was.
Did you like it?
I sort of.
Okay. All right. Well, then I can help you out, too. All right. You know what? Now let's move to our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
Callers always get priorities out of everything that we do. So if you call the show, again, 425-373-5527 or 188-298-KKNW, we will definitely get you on the air.
That's right. Nathan will tell you to wait.
That's right. Story number 1, ExpressVPN CIO helped United Arab Emirates hack into phones and computers. So we talk about VPNs. We're going to be talking about VPNs a little later in our myth section. But we have Daniel Gerke. His history.
You got his name right.
I did. I know.
How about that?
I prepped out a lot. So Daniel Gerke, he has expertise before he got hired in as the chief information officer for ExpressVPN. But before that, he helped United Arab Emirates orchestrate a massive cyber spying campaign on computers across the globe. According to the Justice Department, ExpressVPN CIO Daniel and 2 others worked as hackers for hire to develop a zero-click attack capable of breaking into internet accounts and devices, including those in the United States. All 3 formerly worked for the United States intelligence community, or the U.S. military. However, by offering their hacking expertise to a foreign country from 2016 to 19, the trio broke U.S. export controls, which require them to obtain a license from the State Department before performing such services. Despite the U.S. laws for hacking, the Justice Department is refraining from charging Daniel with a crime. Instead, he has entered into an agreement that forbids him from conducting computer network exploration operations on behalf of any employer ever again, and he agreed to pay $335,000 in a fine. That's
cool.
That's some big money there to pay.
That is some big money.
So they're still keeping him.
He needs a side hustle now.
He does. I don't know what he's going to do with that. All right. Now we're going to move
on the computer.
That's right. Now we're going to move on to story number 2.
Oh, yeah. This is my story.
Yep.
So Apple co-founder announces a private space company. Isn't that awesome?
That is.
I believe we have an audio clip to play.
On Sunday, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak tweeted out a Super Bowl-style stock footage commercial. Fortunately, Wozniak gave us a hint in his tweet, writing, quote, "A private space company is starting up, unlike the others. A new satellite company focused on monitoring and cleaning up objects in space," end quote. So there you have it. Wozniak and Fielding are not trying to become astronauts themselves, colonize Mars, or become NASA's de facto space chauffeur. No, they actually want to help clean up space and make sure that it's safe and usable by generations going forward.
That's awesome. That sounds like Mr. Howell's kid.
That's right.
From Gilligan's Island.
That's right. All right, so tell us a little bit more about this.
So Privateer, as you heard, is apparently going to monitor and clean up space.
Okay.
You know, they're going.
So it's going to be like Wall-E? Is it going to be like a Wall-E?
I don't know if they're like Wall. They're like a space janitors or something. I don't know.
Okay.
So, Steve so this is co-founded by Steve Wozniak.
Yep.
And Alex Fielding, who is a member of the first iMac team and founded Wheels of Zeus.
Yep.
In 2002, a company that created wireless location trackers. It's unclear exactly what the company will do there, though. So Privateer is described. They describe themselves as a satellite company focused on monitoring and cleaning up objects in space.
Okay.
With Mr. Wozniak quoted as saying, the team at Privateer Space will be able to achieve the affordability and lightweight capabilities needed to pave the way for our satellite design and launch. Number of active and defunct satellites around the Earth has increased from 3,300 to over 7,600 in the last decade. So apparently there's a lot of floating garbage up there.
So it's like the guys driving down the freeway that just decide to put their big gulp out of the window type of deal. I guess people are just dumping stuff into space.
They're just dumping. Well, we launch a satellite. It only has a certain amount of time that it runs, and then it goes
dead,
either replaced or it goes dead. And
it just stays out there. No one ever brings them down.
Yeah, it just hangs around out there. So Steve's going to go and get them.
Okay.
So and they say that number of defunct satellites and space garbage can grow as many as 100,000 satellites before 2030. So I guess he's got a pretty good gig there.
He does some crazy stuff though.
I think it's interesting that because we're going to be talking about Apple today, and here he is creating a janitor service for space.
You know what? I'll tell you this. Steve, I think, did way more for Apple than Jobs did, to be honest.
Oh, you just inflamed a whole bunch of people.
Well, I don't. Wozniak was the brains behind, I think, the fortress of moving forward with the computers and the hardware and the software. I know Jobs was kind of the forefront man to make things look good and marketing type of deal, but without Wozniak, I don't think they would have been successful. All right, David's got 5, so let's finish up. Story number 3, GameStop says it's moving beyond games and evolving to become a technology company. Oh, this is exciting. The game retailer says it's transitioning to become more of a general technology company. GameStop has laid out its future ambitions to not sell video games, but to also be a part of the technology industry and provide more items.
Radio Shack.
Okay, that's right. Now, here's the thing. First off, what they need to do is they need to get out of their financial debt because they announced their quarterly earnings and they lost last quarter $63 million. How does the company stay in business?
I don't know.
That much money?
Doesn't that have anything to do with the whole thing that
the stock market? No, it has
thing?
Nothing to do with anything on the stock market itself. But they just had a quarter where they lost $63 million, and they're saying that they're going to come out and become a technology company.
Well, that's probably why, because
they're losing all the money in video games.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. I download most of my video games.
I just downloaded a new game from Steam, and I didn't have to buy it from anywhere.
The only time I go into GameStop is if I need hardware.
If you need hardware?
Yeah, like a controller or something. Or
I go in there just to see the back. So I'm still kind of the old school guy that used to go on into the Blockbusters and like looking at the fronts of the
you just window
video
shop?
games.
You
and then flipping it backwards.
Yeah. You're that guy.
You're
the guy that flipped it backwards and was reading all the stuff.
On the back of it.
Is that what you do that in GameStop? You go in there and flip game covers?
And then what really gets me upset is when they don't have the original cover and they have some other printout on there.
Now you can do it with a lot of stuff like Funko Pops and
other items.
Yeah, other stuff, which they already have in there anyway.
All right, David is waving to us. He's almost putting up the other finger that we're not liking to see. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come on back, we got the Technology Insider segment where we're going to review about subscription services. We were talking about this before the air. You're doing some cleansing of some subscription services.
Yeah, I got rid of all my subscriptions.
So we're going to talk about subscription services, how it was created, what they're for, and we got 3 crazy out of all the ones that I looked at, 3 crazy ones that we're going to be talking about. So we're going to go to a commercial break. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Microday here. David behind the board. We'll see you after this. Hi, I'm Nathan Mumm, host of TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm on KKNW. TechTime Radio's live show is Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can always check us on the web at techtimeradio.com. Our segmented stylized radio gives you the breaking news before it hits mainstream media. Join myself and Microday as we'll make you laugh.
That's good. So, Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
It did, just a little bit. And learning something new in technology. Join us Saturdays, 4 to 6 p.m., and Thursdays from 6 to 7 a.m. The technology show for the everyday common person.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, the show that takes a positive, forward-looking approach to mid to late career transitions for Gen Xers and Boomers every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific. Whether you're looking to stay in the traditional workforce, do your own thing, or retire or semi-retire, Reigniting You is your source for career transition advice, inspiration, and insight for what's next in your career and life. Join me Wednesdays at 3 o'clock to get re-energized, recharged, and reignited.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Microday here and David Brown behind the board. And you know what? We had a caller ask us to make sure that they understood what VPN was. We talked about the CIO of a VPN service. Again, that's a virtual private networking service. And we're going to be talking about that specifically in the second hour regarding myths regarding virtual private networking. But essentially, what a VPN does is it masks the information of what you search on the internet to your standard internet service providers and gets them to a different client that may delete those. They may not delete those, but we'll be talking a little bit more about VPN. It's a virtual private networking. It's a software program that runs on your computer to mask what you're doing so Comcast doesn't know what you're doing.
What you're looking at.
Correct.
And it slows down everything.
It does slow down. It slows down anywhere between about 10% is an average VPN. And everybody says, oh, it only slows down 3%. No, it's about 10%, all the way up to about 50%, depending on where you're going. So if you try to jump on and imitate a server that is in Europe, then your speeds are much slower than maybe a server that's down in Arizona or California from Washington. So, all right. Well, we're going to get back. We have our whiskey review that we had. It is the Old Weller Antique 107 Original Wheated Straight Bourbon, $178 a bottle, 107 proof.
Yeah,
now,
107 proof.
107 proof. Now, our super fan, Mark Gregoire, that was on the show last week, if you missed the whole whiskey tasting hour, that was the second hour of last week's episode 65. You can go back and take a look at it. But he left this bottle in my office at Studio 6. And so what do you think of it?
So far, it's tasty.
It's tasty? Do you taste the sweet and unusual floral notes in vanilla flavoring?
I taste the vanilla.
You taste the vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a wheated bourbon. It's 107 proof, offered as a complex taste and bold finish. It's certainly a recognizable member of the Weller label and its own unique characteristics to complement its high proof. We have another Weller, too, for next week. So we got Weller. Chicken dinner. All right, here we go.
Not quite. Winner.
Weller.
No,
there's
doesn't work.
Okay. All right, so let's get ready to start.
Weller. Funny feller.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right, hey, David, let's get us back on track. Why don't we start our next segment?
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, subscription services have been around for a long time, but we have 3 crazy ones we're going to be talking about today. One essentially got announced this week, so that's why we're talking about it. But subscription services, do you know the very first recorded subscription service was Charles Dickens. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Charles Dickens.
Where's the Hooked on Phonics? Where is it? Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
Sorry. Charles Dickens, he sold his novels, all of his novels, as a subscription.
Mm-hmm.
If he considered member dues, they'd have to pay annually or monthly to receive his books.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not.
I did not until I started doing a bunch of research on subscription services.
Yeah, there you go.
So then if you think about the Encyclopedia Britannica, do you ever remember that?
Yeah.
So people would come literally in the 70s and sell them door to door.
I bought one.
You bought one of those?
Yeah, I bought encyclopedias from an encyclopedia salesman
That came to your house and said
came to my house.
So that is considered a subscription service also, because they would come back to you each year.
That's what they would do. They would send, you could buy everything for like $1,500, or you could pay a subscription service fee and get one volume a month
at a time.
A,
B, C.
Yeah, so you
got them all. So the same thing. Snoopy did that too. Charles Schultz did a bunch of Snoopy books back when I was growing up in the early 70s, and it was a subscription service too. You get one each month, and you'd have to pay a subscription service. Kind of what magazines are. If you look at Highlight magazines or ESPN magazine, you pay for a year and you get subscription services. All right, so they have been around forever. Book of the Month clubs have been popularized after World War II. Customers look for subscription companies to process because they believe it's a monetized relationship in which they receive a better deal. So that's the whole idea. If you're a part of the group, you want to be a part of the group, then you're going to get a better deal.
Yep.
Most subscription services do not include any incentives on better deals. If you actually look at the retail prices of the items that they have available, it would be cheaper for you to purchase them independently, but the conversations in their sales deal hook and ladder and get you synced in.
It's better for the company.
And it is better for the company.
That's why 365 is...
We're going to be talking about Adobe, the Creative Suite software company, switched from used to have to buy their software services. Now, if you want an Adobe service, you have to pay for it either monthly or yearly. Yep. And they moved from creating entry points at a much cheaper point for a customer. Because if I need Adobe After Effects or I need Adobe Premiere, I can pay $19 a month and get them and do all my editing and then stop my service, which no one does because they just let it keep on going and going and going and going.
That's the psychological advantage of that for companies, because we are loath to stop them. We forget that they're there. We get used to them taking money out of our account each month, and so we just keep. It's like having a gym membership.
Yep.
That you never go to the gym, but you keep paying them.
Paying them because you think you may go.
Because you think you may go,
and you don't want to miss that opportunity.
And you're just and it's just you just learn to live without that money.
Yeah, you do. So do you realize that Google was the very first software company to only do subscription services? Google has never charged for X amount. Any of their Google Drive, their Google Cloud, any of their Google services has always been subscription-based. Microsoft moved on over essentially into reoccurring licensing fees for Office 365. Their big push started in 2013. 2017, 85% of Microsoft's revenue is driven from subscription services, including the Xbox services and then the other services. Yep. This is how software companies make money.
Yeah, they're really trying hard to get me go from Xbox Gold to Ultimate.
Ultimate? Yeah. I have an Ultimate subscription.
I used to, but
see, I can help you out because I can buy it at the Microsoft price because I'm a Microsoft alumni.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I need to.
I'm not doing any subscriptions. I got rid of all.
I got rid of all the subscriptions.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to get married.
You're trying to get married.
I'm trying to get married.
That's
so
congratulations. People may not know that, but congratulations. Mike is engaged. Yes, I know. Mike's engaged, so now you're saving money.
That's right.
Oh, so she's
you gotta.
She's got
you gotta save that money.
Whip it.
That's right.
Take it from somebody who's been doing it for 25 years.
That's right.
Mike, congratulations. Happy to hear that. All right, so let's talk about Stitch Fix, one of the fast movers in the subscription box. Do you know what Stitch Fix does?
They fix stitches?
No, they personalize clothes.
Oh.
So it's a subscription service where you can get custom-made clothes. I mean, like, look at this here. Doesn't this look like Stitch Fix?
Is that like snitches get stitches?
No, that's a jail. That's a jail terminology. All right. Have you heard of Blue Apron?
I've heard of Blue Apron.
So they're a public traded company that is changing the way people prepare dinners.
Yeah, I used that service.
Do you like it?
It's okay.
It's okay? Yeah. So as a subscription service, are you going to continue to use that service?
No, I got rid of all my subscription services.
Okay.
I told you that already.
Okay, all right.
I only used it for a limited number of months.
All right, but did it actually provide you meals and keep you on track and everything?
Yeah. It was all right. The problem I had with it is that I don't really care for the cooking involved. So they had all these instructions about what to do on it. I think it took me. It says this can be prepared in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it took me like 2 hours to get through the first one because I was reading all the instructions.
Instructions how to do it?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So you're like, I could just order to Uber Eats and I could have
I
3
was
meals
like,
for that.
I was like,
Okay, I
I
got you.
just go down to Wendy's and get something.
How about the Dollar Shave Club? Have you heard of that?
That does sound familiar.
So that is the Shave Club. Essentially, a guy
Oh
created.
yeah.
So
That's right. I've
It's
heard of that.
$1. You get the cheap blades, or you can get up $4 a month, and you can get bigger blades. And they send you, I think it's 2 or 3 blades a month. That they'll actually. It is considered now the largest subscription service in the world.
Really?
The Dollar Shave.
Beat
The guy
out
had
Netflix,
no
huh?
idea. Had no idea what he was doing. He just said, you know what? It should be a simple, easy way to get some razor
Yeah,
blades.
That's because when you go in the store to get a razor blade
It's
for
like
your
$7.
Mach 3 or something, it's like
Gillette's.
$18.
Yeah,
for
Gillette and all of
2.
them had kind of a monopoly, so he decided to go over to China. I did a whole research on this guy. Goes to China, says, how can I get razor blades cheaply made at a high forge rate? And they said, well, you know what? The actual blades that you get for all those high Gillette and all those other big guys are like pennies on the dollar
Yeah.
to begin with. It's
Yeah,
all
it's
their
crazy.
marketing
This
and
is like
everything else that they
the-
have to take care of.
The De Beers of the razor world.
Yep. All right, now let's talk about the 3 wildest subscription services that I could find.
Okay.
And I spent way too much time, again, on this article, but I had such a great time doing it.
Oh.
All right, here's the number
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It just came out this week. Choose your taco.
I heard about this
All
on
right.
the radio.
Taco Bell now has the ability only specifically in Tucson, Arizona, from September 9th to November 24th
that's
at
where I'm from.
17 locations. You're from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
For the ranges are $5 at some of these locations to $10. And what you do is you get the Tacos Lovers Pass.
There you go.
So for 30 days, you can go in each day. It's Yum Brand's chain is testing this across the nation. Yum Brand owns tons. They own KFC.
Yep.
They have a bunch of others. So this is the test market.
That's why you see them all together, Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell. like,
all of them together because they're all owned by the same
owned by the
companies.
company,
Yep. So they're doing a test. 30 days straight. This is what you get. If you sign up for the $5, I probably would have done this. Even at the $10 price, 30 days. That means you have to go to Taco Bell, though, 30 days in a row. So that's kind of a little creepy to begin with. Because have you ever gone through Taco Bell drive-ins?
Yeah.
The people behind there, I'm always just
Can
saying.
you imagine that? Can you imagine that trying to go through a drive-through now?
What's that?
Yeah, I just want my free taco.
Yeah. You're gonna
And
get
there's
something-
like 50 cars stacked up. I just want my free taco.
That's going to be a very odd conversation,
Yeah.
right? You sure you don't want anything else? No, I
I want my free taco.
So here's what you can choose. You got the Crunchy Taco, the Country Taco Supreme, Soft Taco Supreme, Dorito Locos Tacos,
Those are
Doritos Locos Taco Supreme, and the Spicy Potato Soft Taco. Upon their launch, Taco Bell spent 85% of its market in Arizona targeting individuals that had visited pot shops.
Of course, because that's
So-
what you do.
So they know their
This is-
market, right?
Yeah. Well, that and that's why they have their drive-throughs open all night for the late night drinkers.
So I'm not trying to say that if you go to Taco Bell that you're maybe
You're a pothead.
I'm not saying that you're a pothead, but they specifically targeted that demographic for their subscription
I
service.
would too.
They have had
'Cause
over.
that's probably because they come in and be like, "Yo, man, give me a taco."
They've had over 500,000 people sign up
I
just this week.
yeah, I believe that.
500,000 people.
I would not want to work there. I would not want to.
So that's $5 million at the $10 price point.
yeah.
You got $5 million to give one taco away to a bunch of people.
I know.
All right. Okay.
I just totally wouldn't want to be in that line.
That makes it truly run to the border. Taco Bell.
That's right.
Oh, that was horrible.
All right.
Thank you.
Number two. It was fantastic, David. I love you, man. All right. Dive Bar T-shirts. Listen to this. DiveBarShirtClub.com.
Uh-huh.
This is a subscription service that they go to the biggest dives across the United States, and they make T-shirts for that dive bar that they have.
Oh, really?
Yes.
This one might be fun.
Oh, dude, this was. I'm
I'm
Very
struggling.
close.
I'm struggling with if I should get involved with the taco one, but
Okay, so the dive bar T-shirts, they are limited edition. They only go to one dive bar across the United States ever once. They work with the dive bar itself to come up with the T-shirt creation that they have.
uh-huh.
And then what they do is they send it out to everybody on the dive bar club, and then they have 50 additional shirts that are available to be purchased at the dive bar itself. And after that, the shirt will never be produced again.
Wow.
And the shirts look really cool.
That's awesome. So
it's about $20 a shirt
they're
per
gonna
month.
they're gonna go out to like Jan's Pub out there and
Oh, you should see some of them. So you during the break, Dive Bar shirts, shirtclub.com. You got to take a look at it. They're cool shirts.
Yeah.
And they are some dive bars that are just like
Google that later. Don't do that while we're talking.
Not while you're talking. Actually, if you have an iPhone, you should be making sure you upgrade your iPhone because we'll be talking about that later too.
Yep.
All right, and the last one, the Bacon of the Month Club. Now it's baconfreak.com.
Those are all clubs I would invest in.
The Bacon Freak one?
Yeah.
So
bacon.
So you get different slices of bacon with different companies every month.
So they send you a slice of bacon? Is that what they do?
No, they send you a whole package. I looked at it and I you know what? I'm sure bacon tastes a little bit unique from 3 or 4 different providers. But do you have 12 months worth of unique bacon to taste?
Yeah, I should join that and then take my bacon to Taco Bell. Be like, hey, put bacon on my taco.
Put bacon on taco. There you go. All right. Well, that was our Technology Insider. All right. Coming up, we have Protect Yourself Today's segment right after the commercial break. We're going to sip a little bit of whiskey on the side. Now you can take a look at that divebarshirtclub.com while you listen to these commercials. We'll see you right after this.
Did you know that up to 12 to 15% of Americans grind their teeth at night while they sleep? Yeah, it's called bruxism. I used to work at a sleep lab, and we used to measure that, and it leads to a lot of problems like headaches and destroys your teeth. It wears down the enamel, and it's just very hard on your mouth.
So every once in a while I'll wake up, my jaw will hurt. Do you think I'm grinding my teeth at night?
Yeah.
Well, so how do you go about protecting this then?
The number one recommended way of protecting yourself from teeth grinding is what's called a night guard, which is a custom fitted prosthetic that you put inside your mouth. It usually runs, hundreds of dollars, but I know our sponsor, Smile Brilliant, can get you custom fitted night guards for as little as $45 a piece.
So if you go to smilebrilliant.com and use TechTime Radio at checkout, you can receive 20% off your complete order. So visit smilebrilliant.com and use the TechTime Radio at checkout code.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Day here and David behind the board. Now, during our break, we had a little bit more of this Old Weller's Antique 107 original. What'd you think? Mm-hmm. It's getting better and better. Mm-hmm. That bite that I had at that first one, I did not taste the bite on my second one. Yeah, it's 107 proof, so you have to be careful here. Remember when we had the screwball whiskey? We drank way too much of that, and so we got to make sure we only get through the sampling here because our second hour is already going to be crazy enough. Let alone this whiskey is going to be.
We won't compare it with the screwball stuff.
No.
Because that stuff is awesome, but it's not really whiskey.
It's not really whiskey, but it's awesome. But this is really good whiskey. Again, I'm now tasting the fruit notes, the strong vanilla, the undertones, the spicy tones.
Are you sure?
And there's a cinnamon.
Or just reading it.
Well, no, and there's a cinnamon finish. No, I wrote it down for notes. All right.
Oh man.
Okay, let's go on. We are going to start our next segment. This is like your favorite segment of the show.
Yeah,
this is your drinking segment, right?
This is what makes me think that having technology really isn't worth it.
Right here. Well, you know what? We're going to navigate into our next segment called Protect Yourself Today with 3, I'll probably get through 2 of the large breaches that we'll highlight. Mike, let's start this segment.
Protect Yourself Today.
Welcome to Protect Yourself Today, where we cover the current news on breaches, cyber attacks, and identity theft across the world. Let's talk about story number 1. Now, this is good news.
Yeah, this is weird news.
This is very odd, isn't it?
I have an opinion about this, and I'll share it in just a minute.
Are you? Are you going to share it on Mike's Mesmerizing Moment?
No, I want to talk about it.
Okay, all right, here we go. REvil ransomware victim gets Decryptor. Many of the files encrypted before July 13 are now unlockable for free at Bitdefender Decryptor. Score one for the good guys in the fight against ransomware. Anyone who fell victim to REvil's crypto-locking malware before July 13th can now decrypt their files for free.
So this is the new REvil giving victims of the old REvil a decryptor for the files that REvil locked up.
Is that what you think?
Is that what's going on here, or is this somebody else that's doing it?
So now you're going. I was just going to talk about the nice story. Now you want to dive a little bit deep into it, right? Okay. Well, so essentially, this is what happened. Some versions of REvil are not decryptable, but other ones are. So what I think really happened, and this is kind of would have Bitdefender is a company that does antivirus software. I believe somebody that was disgruntled with REvil closing up shop took the decryptor and worked with somebody at Bitdefender to give them this information to decrypt these items.
Wow, that works really good for REvil.
So REvil has come back up again, right? So
Yeah.
we talked about them folding after they made
they made like a whole bunch of money.
$45 million, and then they retire the company, right? The hacking company, and again, these are professional companies that look to hack all the time. Then they come back.
Yeah, they have customer service lines.
They do. They answer their customer service. So we
And
talked
they
about that
answer, too,
with
yeah.
Nick, right? We said that they're like the best. They have the best customer service in the world.
Yeah,
they answer. They're there to take care of you.
Yeah, some of these companies that we have to deal with on a regular basis should be talking to these people because
These hackers.
they have awesome.
Have you tried to get a hold of Google? Forget it. Forget it. You cannot get a hold of Google unless you know somebody in Google. There is no number to call. There's nothing like that.
know.
It's all
it's
online.
It's like dealing with like companies like Xfinity where
Yeah.
you call and you have to press numbers and then you get somebody who transfers you to somebody else and then you have to get transferred to like India, then you have to get transferred back. It's crazy.
Yeah. So the REvil people, when you call up the hackers, that's just like the 5 or 6 people in help
Yeah,
desk.
they're like,
and
"Hi, how can we help you?"
How can we help you? Oh, you're having a problem with that virus thing for this customer? Let us help you right here. Here we go. Let's come on in.
Here.
But so the decryptor is now available. You can get it for free. But the idea of this is July 13th. If you had data that's been out since July 13th and you didn't need it taken care of, now you can go back, load the decryptor, and you can unencrypt it. But if you did need that information from July 13th forward, which we're now in September, right?
Yeah.
So
You sure?
yeah, that was
Okay.
October. I was doing some October planning stuff, so I was making sure. September, if you didn't need that data, you probably didn't pay any ransomware to begin with because it wasn't that important. But now I guess you can go back and unencrypt it to make you feel like you're doing. Bitdefender is all over this. They get to be the company to provide this to people. You get to go and download it. It's very simple of how to get this. All you got to do is go to, again, Bitdefender and look for REvil Decryptor. It's right on their main homepage. You download the file. There's a tutorial. Very simple. User interface is all taken care of, and you can decrypt your
Right,
files.
so you can decrypt your files, and then REvil will come back later and encrypt them all over again.
Yeah, the new REvil will. Absolutely. All right, here we go. But story number 2. Here we go. And we are up against time, so we're going to only get through 2 stories here, but that's okay because I want to make sure we have time for our pick of the day and Mike's mesmerizing moment. We have story number 2. Researchers say 61 million health IoT device user records have been exposed.
No
Now, you know
way.
what's the best part about this?
What?
I don't work out, so I don't have to worry about any of my information being on any of this. All right, a
Fitness
database
trackers.
Yeah, database belongs to a firm that apparently just shut down after a notice was received. An unsecured database belonging to an apparently recently defunct firm exposed 61 million records of wearable health and fitness devices users across the internet. The security researchers who discovered the non-password protected database available on the internet, you can just type in the thing, get right directly to the access, said the exposed records...
So is this really a hack or no?
No, so this is just exposed on someone's website that they had it available there where someone could click on it. And essentially, this company was reached out by someone that said, hey, do you realize this information is here for anybody to take a look at?
Oh, yeah.
The data appeared to be gathered by GetHealth.io, a New York City-based company that offered a unified solution to access health and wellness data from hundreds of wearable devices and apps. He says upon his findings, he immediately sent a responsive disclosure notice, and the next day he received a thank you from, again, this is GetHealth.io, confirming that the exposed data had now been secured. Essentially what they did is they took their site offline the night before the publication was going to come on out, and emails bounced back, and essentially the company has gone bankrupt.
No way.
So they had information out there. There was probably a fledgling company that was hanging on by just
Probably.
dear threads. They get a notice that their data has been completely exposed.
They were taking shortcuts.
Yep, to allow data to be there and not securing what needs to be taken care of. And guess what happens? Instead of fixing it and saying, oops, we're really sorry about it, they decided to close the business down, shut the website down, and not respond. It was confirmed that it's had synced data from Fitbit, Google, and Apple. So there you go.
That's nice.
Yes.
So how can you afford those blunders?
How can you afford blunders like this
Yeah.
to a company? Well, first off, you should probably have an IT team that's secure and make sure that they view your website. So, some companies don't do that. Some companies go and they work with their marketing companies and other and never engage their IT, put a bunch of stuff out there, hire consultants, hire people to make their site look good, post their information without ever engaging the IT team, and then all of a sudden their data is exposed out there. And all they had to do is ask an IT person, say, hey, you know what, we probably should put this behind a secure database or have this available. The other thing is what happens is people assume if they're on Azure or Microsoft cloud-based systems, this happens all the time. I hear this all the time from people in the industry. Well, you know what, I'm using Microsoft Azure database on the cloud, so it's going to be secure. Well, no, Microsoft allows it to be duplicated and available on the internet for everybody, but they don't secure your personal data. Neither does Amazon, neither does Google. None of these companies do that. It's your responsibility with the hard drive space that you have to secure that data.
See, that's the big problem right there.
What's that?
Is that they are saying that it's the responsibility of the user to do this. And not that I'm saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that they don't advertise that. Nobody says, "Hey, you're responsible for your data."
Well, when you sign up,
unless you're reading all those little terms and conditions,
so you know what,
are 85,000 pages long.
So I just purchased a game on Steam, and we're going to have this person. I'm getting them to be on an interview. It's a football game. We're going to do a whole football segment of video games.
Oh, is this that 8-bit thing you were talking about?
Yes. And so I downloaded this. In the user acceptance agreement, the ULA document, it actually made me read it and actually have to click buttons within the agreement before it allowed me to download the game itself.
Oh, that is so frustrating.
So I actually ended up reading most of the ULA instead of just scrolling down and clicking next and saying that. So I actually know that if I decide to mod the game, that there's no warranty, and if I decide to put NFL players in there, that I could be at risk for having the NFL come after me because they're all nondescript players and a bunch of other items that were available. So you know what?
Well, that was
they do that in Amazon too.
Yeah, that was very nice of them to do.
That was so, and then
maybe I'll talk about that in the mesmerizing moment.
And then all of a sudden they have a Discord channel that I can go on to, and I can get all these hacks so I can download every NFL team and play with all my NFL guys. So as much as they say they don't do it, but then all of a sudden they're like, well, we can't legally do this because we'd be in trouble.
That's right. That's because, exactly.
But yeah, we have all the rosters from the EA Sports
that
have Madden's rankings, and you can import it right now.
All right.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our Protect Yourself today. We missed one segment. You can catch that out online, so if you want to hear our one segment we didn't talk about, all you got to do is go to techtimeradio.com and look underneath our blogs. I'll post that information on Protect Yourself today. When we come on back, we got Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. We have our pick of the day, and we will close up our first hour and get ready for hour number 2.
Hey, Mike, as a business owner, why do we form an LLC or a corporation?
Well, that's pretty simple. We want to protect ourselves personally from the liability of the company.
That's right, Mike. The very next thing we should be doing as business owners is protecting ourselves personally from the finances of the company.
Right. Yeah, that's why you want to get help, and you can get help from the Business Doctor, which was founded by Dr. Glenn Smith, PhD in Business Management, Accounting, and Finance. Schedule your free business evaluation and consultation at thebusinessdoctor.us.
Enroll in the Rapid Business Credit Builder program and get up to 100K business credit under the company's EIN and the DUNS number in less than 6 months. The DUNS number is really important for your rating on when you purchase other items from other businesses, never having to use personal credit ever again. That's thebusinessdoctor.us or call 866-383-1030. Again, that's 866-383-1030 or thebusinessdoctor.us.
Visit the Business Doctor today.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here and David Brown behind the board. Okay, we had our Old Weller Antique 107 Original. This was our last tasting before our pick of the day.
Yeah, you missed out on it.
I'm gonna have to drink some as your mesmerizing moment goes. Yeah. How's it tasting?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. You don't want to give it away, but you think that this would be on it.
I am not going to give it away at all.
All right, I'm glad you didn't. Thumbs up, man. All right, you know what? Let's go to our next segment. This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com.
See, it's so hard to be human today.
Why is that?
we're really not set up for this type of system that we live in, the society and things like that. We have issues.
Okay.
Right? So when you get hacked,
Yeah.
that's them taking advantage of. It's always about human error, right?
Yeah.
Almost 100% of the time, it's human error that creates a hacking opportunity.
Yep.
Right? That's because
Unless you call HostGator and you impersonate.
that's still a hack.
I know you're right.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
okay.
still a hack.
Okay.
I'm gonna. We even have
Nick, you and Nick agree.
That's
You and Nick
right.
agree,
We
yeah.
have a cybersecurity expert on my side,
I know.
and that's what we're talking about here. Is that human behavior is always going to be the stick in the mud when it comes to technology issues.
Okay.
That's why we have problems with the devices that do AI, the AI devices that don't detect certain
Races.
people. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why we have this thing with the IoT devices. That's why, what were we just talking about just now?
The hack of the healthcare information that was out there.
The hack of the healthcare stuff. That's due to people taking shortcuts to get something done. You know, we're talking about why people don't hire the EULA agreements.
Yep.
Right. Who reads those? See, that's the advantage. That's the advantage of being an expert in these things, is because probably 98% of the population don't read those.
Yeah.
And somebody who forces you to read them, you're going to get pissed. Right?
I got a little upset when I had to do that.
Right. You got upset because
But they had some funny notes in there too, though. So they had this comments and stuff. That was like,
so
that's kind of cool.
Right. So they made it so that you weren't, because that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would be like, oh, I don't think I want this game.
Okay.
You know, I downloaded a game on my cell phone the other day because it looked interesting.
Yep.
And every time I had to do something, I had to sit through an advertisement. It's off my thing.
Okay.
That's taking advantage. People are trying to take advantage of human behavior. They don't understand it.
So we should just have AI take over and make the decisions for us.
Yeah,
then, right?
Skynet. Why not?
That's right. That's the whole story of the Terminator, right?
No,
we just let the AI make the decisions.
No, we just have to understand that this is all human nature.
Okay.
And it's not going to get fixed.
So how do we correct our human nature to
Well, I think
we're always in a rush. See, we're always in a hurry, right? Cell phones were supposed to help us.
This is all based on. It's kind of a give and take between human nature and the development of tech. Every time we develop a technology, we're developing it because we are what?
Well, we're trying to be lazier.
We're
trying to get more and more balance for the home life work balance type of deal. But all it does is enable us to be more work.
Because we're trying to make things easier for ourselves.
Okay.
Right? We're trying to go as quickly as can to point A to point B.
Yeah.
And that's the inherent problem in that system, is that when we're trying to go from point A to point B as fast as possible, we create more problems over here that we then have to go.
We are so plugged in now. I mean, my wife last night, we were watching a television show, and she's literally, she owns a preschool, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's literally responding to people that are using her app that she uses in her preschool to communicate real time. Because the expectation now is essentially if I message you at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I kind of am expecting a response. And so she has to balance that between responding at 9 o'clock at night, or you don't respond, or do you call back, or what you do. And the whole idea of this technology is to give it easier for us, when really it just allows us to.
That's like the use of cell phones while you're driving.
Yeah.
You know, we have this super addictive device that we're carrying around with us 24/7. Anybody can contact us, and we can do anything. And when we're driving, it's hard to separate those two for many, many people.
It is.
Human behavior, the human condition is very difficult to deal with our modern society. We weren't meant for this.
So what are we going to do about it? Do we adapt?
Nothing. We just do the best we can.
We do the best we can.
Yeah, because
so now we're completely.
We don't change.
Do you remember what it was like in the 80s when we didn't have technology as we do now, where we're always connected? I mean, I could go on a weekend.
I miss those days.
I do too. I could work a job when I was working at the Royal Fork Buffet. Yay! Right.
Yeah.
So a high school job. I could do that, but then I would go home on the weekend, and if I had time off from work where I had to go in and physically look at a schedule, not pull it up
Right,
online, physically look at a schedule, I'd write it all down, and then I would actually have time off and never have to worry about responding to anything else.
That's right.
I can't do that at all now.
Not anymore.
Now I look 24/7. I mean,
That's
it
right.
was 2 o'clock last night.
We're not geared for that.
No.
It creates stress in our life.
It is. All right, let's go to our pick of the day.
waving.
He is.
David's waving.
Our Old Weller Antique 107 Original Weeded Straight Bourbon. That was a great talk in your mesmerizing moment. 178 a bottle, 107 proof. What would you give it?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up. Mike gives it a thumbs up. This is phenomenal. This is not... I'm not offering to let you take this home.
That's
This
all right.
is coming home to the Mumm closet itself.
That's right.
On our second hour, we got lots to cover. We're going to be talking about iPhones. We're going to be talking about what we found on the web, the 13 myths. I am Nathan Mumm. We got David Brown behind the board. Mike Renee. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.